Good evening. Welcome. Welcome to day 2 of the December Yoga Challenge. Go ahead and if you have available to you, and we can do without props as well, but if you have one available, grab a strap or a scarf or a belt. It'd be nice to have towards the end of class. If not, I'll definitely offer some options without. So go ahead and just take a seat on your mat. And as you begin to center, go ahead and close your eyes. Beginning to turn your attention inward. Beginning to lengthen on the inhale and the exhale. And if you're familiar with the Ujjayi breath, go ahead and activate that now. If you're not, when you inhale and exhale, you're going to draw the air so that it kind of moves across the back of your throat so you can hear it. It's a louder breath, so it's a slow sip, as if you were sipping through a straw. You should be able to hear your inhale and exhale pretty clearly. And as you begin to find that, go ahead and allow your shoulders to drop down away from your ears. The crown of your head rises up towards the sky. Drawing your belly button up and in. Elongating your spine. Taking a few more breaths deep into your rib cage. Our focus for today is going to be self-love. And one way we can really love ourselves is by choosing the way we talk to ourselves in our mind. So I invite you to ponder the idea that self-talk is changeable and that you can choose the way you speak to yourself. And just for right now, for this class, we're going to choose to speak to ourselves with love. So gently allowing your eyes to open and beginning to raise your hands up towards the sky, inhaling, lengthening the spine, and on an exhale, forward fold, drawing the crown of the head forward. So it's gonna point to the place where the ceiling and the wall meet. Chin just tightly, slightly tucked. Maybe you begin to feel some opening in the back body, in the hips. From here, you might begin to walk your hands forward just a little bit more. Again, breathing deep into that back body. Feeling your rib cage spread with each inhale. And with your next exhale, just crawl those fingers forward just a little bit more. Begin to release the head and the neck. The forehead falls towards the mat. Your next inhale, walking back just a bit, going back to the nice neutral spine. Go ahead and begin to walk your hands over the right knee. And then go ahead and take those left fingertips and walk them forward just a little bit more. Getting to square your shoulders over the knee. And with your next exhale, beginning to release in the head and neck, letting your forehead bow towards your knee. Inhale, beginning to press up, beginning to walk ourselves over to the other side. Go ahead and walk those right fingertips a little bit more forward. Beginning to square off the shoulders. And as you're ready, beginning to bow your head towards your knee. On the next inhale, beginning to press up, walking your hands back to center, coming all the way to seated. Go ahead and switch the cross of your legs. Probably putting your awkward foot forward now. And just find a nice balance between both sides. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, twisting towards the right. Right hand becomes behind the back. Gently pressing that right hand into the mat, lengthening the spine. Gently drawing on the knee with that left hand to deepen the twist. And then just connecting our breath with our movement here. With each inhale, just intending to grow a little bit taller. And with each exhale, deepening a little bit more into the twist. For a few more breaths here. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, deepening into the twist. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, deepen into the twist. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. And then gently unwinding, coming back to center. Go ahead and inhale the arms up. And exhale over to the left. Left hand coming behind the back to help lengthen the spine. Right arm gently pressing against that left knee. And from here, go ahead and connecting your breath back with movement. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen into the twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. And one more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepening. And then gently returning back to center. And from your nice neutral spine here, go ahead and place your right hand on the mat. Inhale the left arm up. And on an exhale, beginning to bend over to your right. Pressing into that right hand, finding some nice length in the right side body. exhale, deepening into the side fold. Just a couple more breaths here. Breathing deep into that side body. On your next inhale, coming up through center. And exhale over to the left. Again, gently pressing into that left hand to keep that left side body open. And with an exhale, deepening into the fold. Stretching out through your fingertips. Beautiful. On your next inhale, coming up through center and releasing. Go ahead and begin to make your way onto your hands and knees. From here, we want to stack our knees right under our hips and wrists stacking right under our shoulders. Go ahead and allow the tops of your feet, or you can tuck your toes, whichever feels better. And then from this nice neutral spine, we're going to inhale the tailbone and crown of the head up. And exhale, pressing back to the cat, arching the spine. Inhaling forward. And exhaling back. Go ahead and continue at the pace of your own breath for a few more rounds. And with each round, seeing if you can deepen into the stretch, getting a little bit more movement between each vertebra, waking up the spine. On your next inhale, coming to neutral spine, making sure each fingertip is spread wide, tucking those toes under now, and then pressing the hips up and back into down dog. Maybe you take a nice deep bend in your knees here, pressing the tailbone up. And then you're gonna roll your armpits in towards your ears and your shoulders out. I'm just taking a couple deep breaths here. One more deep inhale. And on an exhale, releasing your knees to the mat, pressing your hips back, child's pose. Letting the forehead come to the mat, taking a couple deep breaths here. And bringing in a centering thought. With our focus today on self-love, I affirm that I love myself. I am beautiful and my spirit is unique. There is just one me. Inhale, coming forward onto your hands and knees, tucking those toes under. And one more time, pressing the hips up and back into down dog. And for the second down dog, you might bend one knee and then the other, pressing one heel at a time towards the earth, beginning to wake up the backs of the legs. And then for a breath or two, let's press both heels towards the mat. Inhale deeply, bending the knees, and just slowly beginning to walk your feet towards your hands, keeping the knees nice and bent. And from here, placing your belly onto your upper thighs. Hands come to the mat. Go ahead and bend as deeply as you need to. Gently sitting back in your hips, allowing the head and neck to release. Maybe shaking your head yes, maybe no. And then just beginning to push into the heels, moving towards straighter legs. Not straightening all the way, just finding a nice stretch in the back of the legs. Wherever you are today is perfect. Maybe you bend and straighten. And gently tucking that tailbone under, we're going to begin to roll up one vertebra at a time, allowing the head and neck to come last. Beautiful. So from here, we're going to take 1 foot forward and 1 foot back at about, if you were to put your hands out, at about the length of your wrists. And then we're going to take this one off the tight wire, so kind of open your legs so that the outer edge of each foot is at the outer edge of the mat. Then squaring your hips off to the front of the mat, we're going to begin to bend that front knee. I want you to take a peek down. Make sure you can see your first 2 toes, and make sure that your knee's not coming over the ankle. So draw back if you need to. And then from here, go ahead and inhale the arms up. Virabhadrasana 1 or Warrior 1. Drawing that belly button in towards the spine, tightening through the core, reaching up through the fingers, drawing those shoulders down away from the ears. Pressing strongly into all 4 corners of each foot. And exhale, releasing the hands, letting them come to the hip, and go ahead and straighten that front leg. Now we can shimmy the foot in towards center, and you're going to bring that back foot in towards center line. Heel angled out, toes pointing in. And as we begin to bend that front knee, we're going to open the hips now towards the side of the mat. Again, making sure that the knee is tracking over the ankle. And then gently gazing down and making sure you can see that front big toe. So you're going to keep encouraging these hips open. And then as you're ready, drawing the crown up towards the ceiling, dropping your shoulders down away from your ears. Inhale, drawing the arms up. And then maybe you gaze out over that front middle finger. Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2. Pressing strongly into all 4 corners of each foot. And finding your breath here. Reaching through both fingertips, front and back. Drawing that belly button up and in. 1 more deep inhale here. And exhale, straightening that front leg, releasing the hands. Next, we're going to make our way into triangle. So again, you might want to come off of that tight straight line. You might want to broaden your stance a little bit. Again, the feet are about the distance of your wrists apart. And shifting, I've got my right foot forward, so I'm shifting my left hip back, and my right side body forward. I'm going to go ahead and drop that right hand to wherever it lies, on the shin, might be on the thigh. You might keep that left hand on your hip, beginning to roll the shoulders open. Maybe you're breathing right here today, drawing that crown of the head right in line with the spine. Maybe for a breath or 2, you inhale that top arm, that left hand up. And continuing to press the hips back as you draw the crown forward. Beautiful. On your next inhale, rising up. And we're going to switch and do these 3 poses on the other side. So the first one for warrior 1, go ahead and take that wide stance, the outside edges of your feet towards the outside edges of the mat. Beginning to shift those hips towards the front of the mat. Bending into that front knee, gazing down, peeking out that front big toe. Inhale, arms up. Just a gentle back bend, just gazing slightly up towards the sky. Pressing strongly into all 4 corners of the feet. Drawing your shoulders down, away from your ears. A couple deep breaths here. On your next inhale, straightening that leg, releasing the hands. Beginning to tighten your stance, bringing your feet more towards the center of the mat. Now with those left toes of that front foot facing forward, back toes angled in. I'm going to go ahead and begin to open up the hips towards the side of the mat, and then go ahead and bend into that front knee. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, gazing out over those front fingertips. Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. And on your next inhale, rising up, releasing the hands. Slightly broadening the stance. Go ahead and shift those right hips back and that left side body forward. Reaching and then just allowing the hand to fall wherever it lies. Maybe you keep your right hand here on your hip, beginning to press the chest open towards the side of your mat. Maybe you inhale that top hand up, Trikonasana or triangle pose. Elongating out through the crown of the head, pressing firmly into all 4 corners of each foot. Beautiful, deep breath here. And just thanking your body for showing up today. On your next inhale, rising up, and exhale, release. Go ahead and spin both feet towards the front of the room. And you might take even a slightly wider stance. So just shimmy, heel toe your feet out. And then you can have your toes pointing straight forward or slightly in, slightly pigeon-toed. Go ahead and place your hands on your hips. We're going to come into Prasarita. Inhale. And then gently coming forward, strong core. And releasing your hands to the mat. And go ahead and take as wide of a stance as you need. Keeping a little micro bend in the knees, protecting the joints. Pressing into the inner edges of your feet. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you release your forehead towards the mat. Beautiful. And adding in another centering thought or another affirmation. My value is not diminished by my imperfections or by the perception of others. Inhale, beginning to heel toe the feet in. Maybe bending the knees as needed. And placing the hands on the hips, tucking your tailbone, beginning to roll up one vertebra at a time. Go ahead and make your way to the top of the mat. We're just going to take a moment in Tadasana. So allowing your feet to come about hips distance apart. Bringing the inner edge of your feet parallel to one another. Pressing firmly down through all four corners of the feet. Activating the quads by drawing your kneecaps up towards your belly. Activating the glutes by gently tucking your tailbone under. Drawing your belly button up and in. Go ahead and allow your arms to come out towards your sides. Dropping the shoulders down away from your ears. Tadasana, or mountain pose. From this beautifully activated space, go ahead and inhale your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Bending the knees. Inhale, placing your hands on your shins, flat back. And exhale, placing your hands to the mat and stepping your feet back to high plank. Dropping your knees to the mat, tucking your elbows in, dropping your chest down. On an inhale, lifting your shoulders and crown up, baby cobra. And exhale, pressing the hips back into child's pose. And maybe for this one, you want to take your knees nice and wide. Big toes come together. Forehead to the mat. Just finding your breath here, softening in the belly. I'm going to add in the word of the day. When I find that I am loving myself, I find that life seems to move in synchronicity. So today's word is synchronicity. On your next inhale, coming forward onto the hands and knees, drawing your knees together and making your way onto your back for Shavasana, or final resting position. Maybe you gently roll your shoulders under your back body, allowing your arms to fall open. Legs rest heavy against the mat. Go ahead and release any control over your breath, allowing it to return to its natural rhythm. And if you feel your mind begin to wander, drawing it back to your breath. For the next few moments, there's nowhere you need to be, but present. On your next inhale, taking a deep breath in. Drawing your knees up, soles of the feet come to the mat. And go ahead, and as you're ready, rolling onto your side in fetal position. allowing yourself a breath or two here. And gently pressing yourself up to seated, allowing the head to come last. And from seated, go ahead and bring the palms of your hands together, pressing the base of your thumbs into your heart center. Thank you so much for taking the time to do your practice, for taking a moment even to just breathe, to love yourself. Namaste.